Introduction. The invisible conversation. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are engaged in an invisible conversation. It is not spoken with words alone. It is expressed through your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your habits, your choices, and the energy you bring into every room you enter. Before you speak to the world, you have already spoken to yourself. Before you influence others, you have already influenced your own mind. This silent conversation shapes the direction of your life. Many people spend years believing that success, happiness, health, love, and abundance are things they must chase. They search endlessly for the perfect opportunity, the perfect relationship, the perfect career, or the perfect moment. They believe that if only circumstances would change, then their lives would finally improve. Yet history tells a different story. Again and again, we see people who rise from humble beginnings, overcome extraordinary setbacks, and build remarkable lives. Their circumstances were not always favorable, but their inner world gradually transformed. As they changed the way they thought, learned, responded to challenges, and acted each day, new opportunities emerged. Their lives became evidence that lasting transformation often begins from the inside out. This book explores that principle. Throughout these pages, you will discover that your internal world, your mindset, emotional patterns, values, and daily behaviors, has a profound influence on the decisions you make, the relationships you build, the opportunities you recognize, and the resilience you develop. While no one can control every external event, each of us has significant influence over how we respond, grow, and create meaning from our experiences. Understanding the silent language between you and the universe. For centuries, philosophers, spiritual teachers, psychologists, and scientists have searched for answers to one timeless question. Why do some people consistently create meaningful, fulfilling lives while others remain trapped in cycles of frustration and disappointment? Different traditions offer different explanations, but they often agree on one essential truth: your inner life matters. The silent language, described in this book as the ongoing interaction between your thoughts, emotions, actions, and the world around you. Your attitude influences how you interpret situations. Your emotions affect how you communicate with others. Your habits shape your future more reliably than occasional bursts of motivation. When you consistently cultivate courage instead of fear, gratitude instead of bitterness, curiosity instead of resignation, and discipline instead of procrastination, you become more prepared to notice opportunities, strengthen relationships, and persevere through challenges. In that sense, your inner state influences the life you build. Imagine two people walking into the same opportunity. One enters expecting failure. Every obstacle confirms their doubts. They hesitate, withdraw, and eventually give up. The other enters prepared to learn. They expect challenges but remain open, adaptable, and persistent. They ask questions, seek feedback, and continue improving. The opportunity was the same. The difference was not the universe changing its rules, it was the mindset and actions each person brought to the situation. That is the invisible conversation. Why your inner state matters more than wishful thinking. Many people spend their lives wishing. They wish for better health. They wish for financial freedom. They wish for meaningful relationships. They wish for confidence. But wishing alone changes very little. Hope is valuable because it inspires action, but hope without action becomes passive waiting. Dreams without preparation remain dreams. Goals without consistent effort rarely become reality. Real transformation begins when your daily choices align with your aspirations. If you want to become healthier, your eating patterns, sleep, movement, and stress management matter more than simply wishing for good health. If you want stronger relationships, kindness, empathy, honest communication, and reliability matter more than wishing to be loved. If you want financial stability, developing valuable skills, managing money wisely, serving others, and making thoughtful decisions matter more than wishing for wealth. Your thoughts matter because they influence your emotions. Your emotions matter because they influence your behaviors. Your behaviors matter because they shape your habits. And your habits, repeated over months and years, largely determine the direction of your life. Lasting change is rarely the result of a single breakthrough. More often, it is the cumulative effect of thousands of intentional choices. Becoming the person who naturally creates success, health, love, and abundance. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop asking, "What do I need to get?" And start asking, who do I need to become? This question changes everything. Instead of chasing confidence, become someone who keeps promises to yourself. Instead of chasing success, become someone who continually learns, serves others, and persists through setbacks. Instead of chasing happiness, become someone who practices gratitude, nurtures meaningful relationships, and finds purpose in daily life. Instead of chasing respect, become someone whose integrity earns trust. Personal development is not about pretending to be someone else. It is about uncovering your highest potential through consistent growth. As you become more disciplined, your productivity changes. As you become more compassionate, your relationships deepen. As you become more resilient, setbacks lose their power to define you. As you become more intentional, your future becomes less accidental. The greatest opportunities often come to those who are prepared to recognize and act on them. The journey ahead. This book is an invitation. It is an invitation to examine your beliefs, to challenge limiting assumptions, to cultivate habits that support your goals, to strengthen your character, to develop emotional resilience, to live with greater purpose. You will discover practical strategies for developing a healthier mindset, making wiser decisions, improving relationships, building confidence, and creating lasting success grounded in personal responsibility and continual growth. There will be moments that challenge your thinking, moments that encourage honest self-reflection, moments that inspire meaningful action. Growth is not always comfortable, but it is always worthwhile. The invisible conversation has already begun. Every thought you choose to nurture, every habit you decide to build, every act of courage you embrace, and every step you take toward becoming your best self contributes to the story you are writing. The future is not created in a single dramatic moment. It is shaped one decision at a time. Welcome to your journey of becoming. Chapter 1. Everything is energy. The energetic nature of life. Take a moment and observe the world around you. The sun rises with unwavering consistency. Oceans rise and fall with the tides. Trees quietly transform sunlight into life. Every heartbeat, every breath, every spoken word, and every movement is made possible because energy is constantly flowing through living systems. Science tells us that energy is fundamental to the physical universe. It powers the stars, fuels biological processes, and enables every action we perform. Without energy, nothing moves, grows, or changes. But beyond physical energy, there is another dimension of human experience that shapes our lives every day. Think about the last time you walked into a room filled with laughter. Before anyone spoke to you, you sensed the atmosphere. It felt welcoming, joyful, and alive. Now imagine entering another room where tension filled the air after an argument. Again, before hearing the details, you noticed a different emotional climate. Although these experiences are not examples of measurable physical vibrations in the scientific sense, they illustrate something familiar. People influence one another through their attitudes, emotions, expressions, tone of voice, and behavior. The energy we speak of in everyday language often refers to this overall presence. Your presence matters. Every day you communicate something about yourself without saying a word. Your posture communicates confidence or insecurity. Your facial expression communicates hope or discouragement. Your tone communicates kindness or frustration. Your habits communicate discipline or neglect. Long before people remember your words, they often remember how you made them feel. This is why personal development begins within. The energy you bring into every situation. Two people can experience the same challenge and respond in completely different ways. One sees obstacles, the other sees possibilities. One becomes discouraged, the other becomes determined. One complains, the other begins creating solutions. The difference is not that one person's life is magically easier. Often, the difference lies in perspective, emotional regulation, preparation, and the habits they have cultivated over time. Your inner world influences how you interpret your outer world. Optimism does not erase problems. Gratitude does not eliminate hardship. Confidence does not guarantee success. Yet each of these qualities can affect how you respond to life's circumstances, and those responses often shape future outcomes. Your mindset becomes the starting point of your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your character. Your character becomes your legacy. Everything begins inside before it is expressed outside. How vibration influences every experience. The word vibration is often used in personal development to describe the emotional and psychological state from which we live our lives. While physical vibrations have precise meanings in science, this chapter uses the term as a metaphor for your prevailing attitude, emotional patterns, and the quality of your interactions with others. Every emotion influences your experience. Fear narrows your vision. Hope expands it. Anger clouds judgment. Peace creates clarity. Gratitude shifts attention toward what is meaningful. Resentment keeps attention fixed on past wounds. These emotional states influence how you speak, decide, solve problems, and relate to other people. Consider two entrepreneurs launching similar businesses. Both possess comparable resources. Both encounter setbacks. Both experience uncertainty. The first interprets every setback as proof they should quit. The second interprets setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve. Over time, their different responses can lead to very different outcomes, not because the universe favored one person over the other, but because their attitudes influenced the choices they consistently made. This is one way your vibration shapes your experience. Your emotional patterns affect your focus. Your focus affects your decisions. Your decisions affect your future. Every thought plants a seed. Imagine your mind as a fertile garden. Every thought is a seed. Every repeated belief is water. Every daily habit is sunlight. Whatever you consistently cultivate grows stronger. If you repeatedly dwell on hopelessness, fear may become your default response. If you intentionally practice gratitude, resilience, curiosity, and disciplined action, those qualities become easier to access over time. The mind develops according to what it repeatedly rehearses. This is why protecting your thoughts matters, not because every passing thought determines your future, but because repeated patterns influence who you become. You cannot always control what enters your mind. You can choose which thoughts you nurture. The unseen forces shaping your reality. Many of the most influential forces in life are invisible. Trust cannot be seen. Character has no physical weight. Integrity cannot be measured with a ruler. Hope has no color. Love occupies no physical space. Yet each profoundly influences how we live. Your beliefs influence your expectations. Your expectations influence your behavior. Your behavior influences your relationships. Your relationships influence your opportunities. None of these forces are magical, yet together they shape the course of a life. There are also external influences you may not notice at first. The books you read, the conversations you entertain, the music you consume, the people you spend time with, the information you absorb, the environments in which you live and work. Every influence contributes, little by little, to the person you are becoming. Growth rarely happens by accident. It happens through intentional choices repeated consistently. Becoming a positive force. Have you ever met someone whose presence inspired confidence? Someone who listened carefully, encouraged others sincerely, remained calm during difficulty, offered wisdom without arrogance, served without expecting applause. People are naturally drawn to individuals who consistently demonstrate integrity, kindness, competence, and resilience. Not because these people possess mystical powers, but because character creates trust. Consistency builds credibility. Compassion strengthens relationships. Excellence attracts opportunity. The greatest influence you can have is not through impressive speeches but through the quality of your daily life. Become someone whose habits reflect your values. Become someone whose actions match your words. Become someone who leaves every place better than they found it. A daily practice of alignment. Each morning, ask yourself, what kind of person will I choose to be today? Will you choose patience? Will you choose courage? Will you choose honesty? Will you choose gratitude? Will you choose discipline? These choices may seem small, yet they accumulate into a life of significance. The invisible conversation you have with yourself today becomes the visible life you build tomorrow. Chapter Reflection. Everything in the physical universe depends on energy. Everything in personal growth depends on intention, character, and consistent action. Your mindset influences your emotions. Your emotions influence your behavior. Your behavior shapes your habits. Your habits shape your future. You may not control every circumstance you encounter, but you can cultivate the qualities that help you respond wisely, grow through challenges, and create a meaningful life. The journey toward lasting transformation begins not by wishing for a different life, but by becoming a different person, one choice, one habit, and one day at a time.